Bookies, the bookmakers in any sport, try and predict results as soon as possible, based on form, and then the actual draw that says who's playing who throws a spanner in the works. Novak Djokovic saying that Rafael Nadal must be favourite to win 2024. Pinnacle of clay season Roland Garros might be a bit of a dig at his lifetime rival. Lifetime rival. He's seen his form, but after the draw, Rafael Nadal drawn against Zverev, the German. Djokovic is everyone's pantomime villain, and he sort of plays on this role that he knows he has. It feeds his enthusiasm and determination. Will that be the same for Zverev? Outpourings of love emanated for Rafael Nadal on that bridge when he had his early exit from the Rome clay tournament just a few weeks ago. For this one first round matchup, Zverev will be undoubtedly cast as the bad guy, but will there be any crowd reaction prejudging him ahead of his court case? And can he surmount his concerns, feed off his irritations, or put them to the back of his mind? The forehand to the backhand has always meant that a Nadal-Zverev match could be a painful one for Rafa fans. He has lost to him before, but it would be so sad, really, if the depth behind this game manages to mar the swan song, the lap of honour of the legend of clay, the king of clay, with the question of domestic abuse levelled at his opponent. And you're not going to be rooting for Zverev just now, you're just going to want him to be put down by the master. The New York Post is saying, should he even be allowed to play? Rafa says he will give blood for Paris victory, but can he be everyone's knight in shining armour and make a stand for civilization and values against what might be meanness and naked aggression? Tennis can be a stylised gladiatorial warfare, not the entrenchment and invasions of a team sport like rugby. Not like the naked aggression of boxing. Tennis has a proxy aggression to it. A pacifist can enjoy it, even as brutal as it can get. Come on, Rafa! And we want to see you go deep in the tournament. But there's another first round draw that's not going to enable the bookies to attract customers with their famous names, big draw players. For the British, Andy Metal Murray will really need to put his body on the line if the first round isn't going to be our final. He's against Stan the Man Wawrinka. This is such a throwback, retro, vintage pairing when each of them are at their best on any particular surface. Well, it has the potential to be an amazing match, as does Rafa's match. But there is the awful prospect that, not Murray's favourite surface, there could be a humiliating defeat in the first round for a much-loved player. And Rafa could end up going out first round, humiliating score, possibly, to a man that's being accused of domestic violence outside of tennis. Sinner is perhaps a storyline that's presented to us. It's a bit more indirect, abstract competition. It's the #1 title, the #1 seed in men's tennis that's been held by Novak Djokovic for so long, a lifetime. I'm exaggerating, but a very long time in tennis terms. Novak Djokovic is always one to create a storyline. Perhaps the Geneva Open in Switzerland is a conscious choice. It's only an ATP 250. He's not going to get very many points from that. Yannick Sinner steps ahead of him, 8,725 points in the seeding. This is all about your seed. Novak Djokovic, 7,860 seed points. He's got Carlos Alcaraz, 6,580, Daniel Medvedev, 6,335, Alexander Zverev, 5,625. This is going into the Roland Garros tournament. So Novak Djokovic not only gets Geneva appearance money, which he doesn't really need, but it does enable that double storyline of can he retain the 2023 Roland Garros title a second year in a row, and can he get back to being world number one? Is it a turnaround? When people are viewing the end of the career of similar age peoples, if the Serbian was to get to the final and lose in the final, the Italian would become the official world number one just by reaching the semi-final. But if Djokovic wins, Sinner would have to be the runner-up. The draw has meant that Sinner will get past the first round, so Djokovic getting to the semi-final just wouldn't be enough. The 36-year-old wants to play the 22-year-old. If you ask me, not to have this as a game of cat and mouse, but as a head-to-head rivalry. But it's Sinner who's injured his hip in the Madrid Open and skipped the Italian Open in Rome. Is he going to be fit? Djokovic struggled in Rome. As far as better commentators than I go, well, Boris Becker is out of jail and supposedly solvent again. Sam Querrey, though, has given the pantomime villain Djokovic a real slating, saying it is at his worst for 15 or 16 years. But the defending champion loves to play on Philippe Chatrier and knows what a slam expects of him. But take a look on how the bookies have changed their odds since the draw.
Game, set, and match. Game, set, and match.